G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. Lovely to have you here today. I'm going to do a big water ripples for you today, a resin water ripples. This is a big square 28 centimeter mold. I'm just trying to think what it is in inches. I'll have to measure it for you later. And this one I'm going to put a little stingray in. How adorable is that? I made this one recently. It's just a little one, and I put a little turtle in the corner there just to see, you know, if I liked it, if I liked the look, and I do. So this time I'm going to do the stingray, and I put him like, I don't know, something like that. Not sure where I want to put him exactly. Actually, I think I'll turn this around so that this is my shallow end, like so. Anyway, I'll find some. I don't want to put him right in the middle. I just kind of want him sort of off center a little bit, so maybe there. So what I'm planning on doing, I think I said to you in a couple of videos that I wanted to try some sand on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour... Today I'm going to pour clear, sort of aqua blue, and then like a darker aqua blue. So I'll be shallow getting into deep, okay? And I am using the Platinum River Table resin. I've got about 800 grams here. I've just mixed it, so it's all bubbly. And I thought it's just easier for me if I get my 3 cups out. Can we still see that? No, maybe not. Get my 3 cups out, put the colour in, and then I can pop them all in my vacuum chamber together. So that's what I'm going to do. So just sort of even amounts, and I'm using nice big tall cups so that when it all froths up in the vacuum chamber, we've still got room for it to move up. No point filling your cups all the way, because then when they bubble up with all the bubbles that come out, it'll overflow. So just going to divide this between the 3 cups, and I thought I'd just show you the whole process. It's a really thin resin. It's a deep pour resin. You can pour up to about 2 inches, so 5 centimeters, which is plenty for this. I mean, it's not quite that deep. Plenty for this. So on a mold like this, and I made this myself, sculpted it first and then made a mold out of it. It's quite a long process. These bits here are lower in the mold, and these bits here are a bit higher. So these higher bits that sort of poke out, that look like mountains in the mold, they are going to be like deeper, so look like deeper water. So that's why I thought I'll put this area here at the bottom for my beach. So that could be clear. Excuse my dirty sticks. So that's going to be the clear one. We'll just leave that there. Now I've got Colour Passion Ocean resin tint, and I'll do 1 in there, 2 in there, and then I've got teal resin ink from Octopus Fluids, and we'll go 1 in there and 2 in there, just to start with. I'll move the clear out of the way. So this will be the light, that'll be the dark. Don't want them too dark. Hopefully that one won't be too dark. So we'll stir them up. I'll put it over the mold like so you can see the colour. That'll probably need another drop. This is the other one, the darker one. So this is going to be my deep water. So at this stage you can look at it and think, okay, maybe I'll need a little bit more blue, or I'd rather a little bit more green tone, but I think I'd rather go a little bit more on the blue side. I quite like mixing my colours. Make sure that you if you're doing this, it's not streaky. I have got available for sale my smaller mold. It's about quarter of that size on my eBay store if you guys want to make your own water ripples. So that's those two. I'm going to put another drop of the ocean in there, and I'm going to put another 2 drops of ocean in there. So basically this is half the amount of colour that this one is. And then I think that'll do me. I think I'll be happy with that. So I'm going to pop all 3 of these cups into my vacuum chamber. See, it still looks quite transparent. Obviously it looks darker because it's in a deeper cup, but that's kind of the shade. So I'm happy with that. Stir this one. So yeah, I'll pop them all in my vacuum chamber. It's the only way to get rid of bubbles. And when you're doing something like this that you want to have it crystal clear, you don't want any bubbles. And it's a lot of resin, so if you're serious about your resin, grab yourself a vacuum chamber. They're really not all that expensive. Mine's Vivor. Yeah, you can get them on Amazon. You can actually buy them through Platinum. I will link Platinum's website for you. And you can buy Platinum overseas as well for you. I'll link their website and their discount code for a discount. All right, I'll be back once these have been vacuumed. All right, they are done. Crystal clear. Just pop them in for a few minutes. All right, so what I want to do now, I've got to work out a way of pouring them without them sort of spreading too much. So we'll just start. We're going to have clear down here, and I'm going to pour it onto my little stick just so I'm not getting too much sort of splashing. And then quickly pour the next colour in the middle. And then quickly pour the next colour. Oh gosh. So they're the same shades, you know, the same family of colours, but just, you know, made a bit darker. I think you get a really pretty effect that way if you're using the same colours, but just in different amounts, different ratios. Now, it's got to be careful not to put too much in. I think it should be fine, the amount that I've made up. I need to leave a little bit of room for my sand layer. So this was, I can tell you exactly, I did, move my pen out of the way, 600 grams of A and 260 grams of B. Because as you know, when you're weighing it, A is heavier than B, so I always add more of A. All right, let's finish this off. What are you thinking of those colours? Do you like those? Scrape everything out. I'll wipe my sticks so I can use those again. And the last little bit is our clear. So it does hold quite a lot of resin, but like I said, we need a little bit of room for the top layer, the sand. Clean off all my little sticks so I can use those again. All right, give it a quick little torch. I'm using my little tiny torch. You've got to remember that these areas that are sticking up higher, they're quite close to the surface, so you've got to be really careful there that you don't burn your resin. If you get it too hot, it'll actually fuse to your mold. You can see any little bubbles sticking to the bottom, just loosen them, let them float to the top, and they'll either pop on their own, or you can pick them out, or you can give them a quick torch just to get them out. And if there's any little dark bits, I think it's probably little crusty bits from around the top of the little nozzle there. Get them out as well. Loving those colours. And they've found their own way, haven't they? Like where this mound is here. Yeah, the water's just worked its way around. It looks, yeah, it's just found its own natural sort of path. So it's really good. All right, so now I'll pick out a few little bits of fluff and stuff. And I've got to work out where to put my little stingray. And of course, it's got to go down, face down, because this is going to be the back. It's a little bit of unmixed colour there. Probably scraped it out of my cup. And it was stuck to the side, so they don't get as mixed as well on the side. So just make sure that you can't see any streaks. Probably a good idea to come back and check it after about half an hour or so. Now this resin takes probably about 36 hours to cure. Depends on your temperature. It might take a little bit longer if you're in a cold climate. If you're in a hotter climate, it might take less time. But I'm going to give it a good day and a half before I come back and do the next layer, because the sand's heavy. And if it's not cured properly, the sand is going to sink. So where do you want to go, little stingray? It's really cute, isn't it? Little mouth under there. We're not going to see his mouth though. All right. Like I said, I'm just going to pop him. I'm going to dip him in and make sure that he's covered. My dogs are playing. Make sure he's covered, and then we'll submerge him. I think that looks nice. He's kind of in between some little mountainous areas there. Try not to move the resin around too much. Like it's going to move and make its own way anyway, but see, the more you kind of move the light into the dark or the dark into the light, the more you kind of see the swirl. So it's probably just best just to leave it. Just to leave it. It's going to move and do its own thing anyway. All right, so that's it. Like I said, I'll come back and check on it in about half an hour. I'll check on it sort of every half an hour to an hour just to make sure there's no bubbles. But I think I've probably got most of them when I used my vacuum chamber. And if there's any little bits of fluff or hair or something, just pick them out. All right, so I am going to cover that, and I'm going to see you in about a day and a half, okay? So, yes. I'll see you then. That's what it's looking like. So when I have my sand in, it's going to look like a beach, and then a sort of shallow water and then darker water. So, yep. All right, see you soon. All right, it has been just over 24 hours. And it's cured enough for me to touch, but it's still soft enough for me to push a few little shells and things in. I tried these just to see. I didn't want them to be, like the resin to be too soft that everything drops down. So we're just going to, yeah, pop a few little shells in. So I've got the starfish there. I've got a couple more of these ones I'll put in. Got some little white ones, some of these. And I guess the good thing, well, I hope it's a good thing, if the resin's already cured a little bit, that these won't like trap air in them, because I want this side to be showing. I think that's really pretty, so I'm going to pop that down. So yeah, this is going to be sort of my shallow area here. You can see where it's a bit shallower. And I'm just going to pop a few things in and just push them down, basically. And you can, I don't know if you can see the sort of the dent that they're making in the resin. So I'll put another one of these in. I don't want to do one that's, because like some of them are really big, like it's the same size as the stingray. So, all right, I'll put a little one in about, where will you can go about, oops, come back. You can see the resin's quite soft, well, you know, quite set. But I'm just going to push that in. And a few of these. I can open it. These are a little bit smaller little shells. So I've just got different sizes and sort of different colours of shells to pop down. Some will go that way, and then I'll turn some and put them sort of that way. There's a different colour one. So yeah, just basically putting a few things here and there. And we are going to do a layer of sand over the top, so it doesn't matter if the shells sort of stick up a little bit because the sand will cover those. And then we've got these as well, and again I'll try and pick out the smaller ones. They're quite nice because they've got a different colour, different sort of colour to them. I'll put a few things like in a little group together and then spread some out. I think that's all. I've got those out already, these ones. And I'll do another starfish as well. I can find a nice one. There we go, that'll do. And then it can just sort of sit there. Push him down. I hope it's going to look okay on the other side. I'm hoping there's no like big bubbles trapped on the other sides or anything, but we're not going to know until it's time to unmold, I guess. Whoops. No, you can't stay there. You're coming over here into the corner, like so. Alrighty. Nearly there. See, the shells like this that have got spaces in them, whenever I put them in resin, I always get bubbles trapped inside them. Oh, there's a little tiny, oh no, he's missing a bit. There's one. I'll make sure that they go the right way up. Where can you go? You can just go, oh, just there. They're kind of curved, so I'm just going to make sure that the belly of it is touching the resin. All right, how's that looking? We don't want to do too many, hey? But I like sort of groups of things. Maybe a couple more of these, facing the other way this time. And then it's probably going to be about it, really. Not a lot of room for more. Maybe another little starfish over here. Like so. So that's basically all I've got. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of shells. That's all. Okay, I think, oh, I probably need something just here. Just there. There we go. And a little shell. All right, so that's it. I'm not going to do any more. Less is more. I probably put on more than I was planning on doing. So now I'm going to wait until tomorrow. And make sure all those are down. And then I'll come back once it's set hard to put the sand in. Otherwise, it might drop down. All right. Let's have a quick little close-up of them. You can see how they sort of push down a little bit. Hopefully you can see. Just sort of semi-submerged in that tacky resin. Does move a little bit still. All right, see you tomorrow. It's the next day and everything has cured. It's rock hard now. And I have got some Platinum 360 Plus resin. I did 100 grams of A and 45 grams of B. So all platinum products today. We've got the platinum river table resin, which is the deep pour resin, so no bubbles there. And this one is the 360 plus, which is more of a fast cure. So I'm happy just to put that on the top, and I can unmold it later on today. So very exciting. Love it. I will link Platinum's websites for you in Australia and also international. And there's a coupon code there as well. So they're really cost effective, I think. Cost efficient, cost effective. They're well priced, platinum resins. So there you go. You can check those out. The 360 plus, I used to use that all the time for my my 3D blooms as well. I just had to wait for it to get a little bit thicker. It's a 2-to-1 resin, but yeah, you can definitely use that one for the 3D blooms as well. You can check out my videos. I've done lots of videos using that resin for my 3D blooms. All right, so I'm just trying to get, just talking to you while I'm mixing, I'm just trying to get a paste really, and I think that's a nice kind of pasty. Pour that on. Hopefully it's enough. If it's not, I can always mix up a little bit more. I won't put it all in yet. It's only a tiny bit left. Oh, it's gritty. It's like nails on a chalkboard. All right, so the best way to spread that, I feel, is with a little palette knife, because it's, you know, flat there, and then you can hold it up here. Otherwise, it's a bit tricky to... I mean, you can with a pop stick, but it's just easier like this, I feel. So I'm just going to push that towards the edges. Let me just finish off the rest of this. I think that was pretty good amount to mix up. Push that in. You definitely can use your stick when you're just doing the edges. Could probably have made a little bit more actually. All depends on how much you put, you know, for your first layer, as to how much room you've got left for your second layer, but that's basically it. I think I will just mix up another couple of ounces, just because I can see the water through there. The water. So yeah, I will mix up another couple of ounces. I won't video it, you don't need to see that, you'll know what I'm going to do. Just to cover these, I don't want to see any water. I might mix up 3 ounces, another 100 grams, if I can fit it in. The other thing you could potentially do is just, let me grab a little paper cut. Let's see if this works. Because there's a layer of resin, you know, over the top, I may get away with just doing this and not actually mix up any more resin. We'll see. See how we go. Just in these sort of thinner areas that don't have much resin covering, because it's about to overflow over here. So I really don't want to put more resin in, but if I can just add a little bit more sand and it'll soak in. Yeah, that's working, you guys. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. Oh gosh. Because this, when I mix the sand into the cup of resin, the sand sinks and then the resin obviously comes to the surface. So there is a layer of clear resin over the surface of this, and if you need to just push it down you can, but I think it should be all right. I think it'll soak down. It's just this corner up here that hasn't got quite enough. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, I think that's a really good coverage now. I'm just going to let that sink in. And then if I need to come back, I can just, with my little offset spatula here, I can just sort of push that dry sand in a little bit more. But I think that should sink in nicely. That's a good little trick. Oh, I'm glad I thought of that. And then if I need a tiny bit more just here. Just there. A little bit. All right. Beautiful. Love it. Okay, so I'm not going to mix up any more resin at all because the resin's probably just going to sit on top. I'll have a little play with it and just check it for the next few minutes, make sure all the sand is wet. And then I will come back to you probably in about 6 hours and we'll unmold and take it outside in the sunshine. See you then. Okay, it has cured. So let's get this beast out. Oh my gosh, it's quite heavy. I'm really excited. Super excited. Super nervous. I've done quite a few of these water ripples now, but I've never done one with sand. So I just hope that it's going to be really pretty. So let's get it out. Well, half the weight's the mold. It's a big heavy mold. Look at this. Bang. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to sell it. Let me know what you think. If you want me to list it. It weighs about 1,200 grams. So what's that? About 2.5 pounds. Is that right? We got it around the other way. Anyway, I've got a few little bits of resin that have kind of crept up the sides. And I can just sand those off. But for now... All right, let's have a little look. I'm going to turn it this way. I think the sand's going to be on the bottom. And then we can go outside because there's a bit of sun left and we're going to get out there before the sun disappears. Are you ready? Oh my gosh. Hope it's pretty. Oh, wow. No way. Oh, that's better than I was expecting. I'll put it down there so you can see the whole thing. Wow. Look, you can see all my shells. They've turned out so nice. You can even see the ones that have got the holes in them. Oh, and there's our little stingray just off in the distance there. Oh, you guys. Look how the sand has kind of... It looks as if there's like a shallow area there and then it's deeper and then it's shallow and it's moving like it's not just like a straight line. You know how sometimes you see the beach, it's like a straight line? I love it. Wow. I'll bring you up so you can see all the little shells and things. And it's literally like looking through water, isn't it? They're kind of magnified and they look as if they're, the water's moving over the top of them. Oh, it's so pretty. All right, let's go. We're going to go outside. We're going to go outside. So this is inside. I've just got it sitting here. Just in front of the window, so we've got some natural light coming in but not direct sunlight, and you can see it's still refracting just beautifully. So it's this sort of piece, you don't have to have it like in direct sunlight. I think it actually looks nicer inside. Personally, I think it looks a bit nicer inside. Just gives a more natural kind of look. So if it's hanging on your wall inside, with just a little bit of light coming in from the windows, it's going to look stunning. So here we are outside in the sun and it is refracting beautifully. Look at that. We'll come in for a bit of a close-up here. It does look a little bit different inside. I actually prefer the look of it inside. It's a little bit sort of more toned down. Haven't got direct sunlight on it today. The sun's up there, but it's kind of behind the clouds. So I think it looks really pretty. So let me know what you think. There's the shells in there. The sand. It's wet, so pretty. I'm really happy with it. There's the stingray. All right. So there it is. Let me know if you would be interested in buying this mold. It is a big one though. Like I said, it's 1.2 kilos. So it would be pretty expensive to ship as well, being that that heavy. But I am making a slightly smaller one, so maybe you'll be interested in that one instead. But anyway, let me know what you think. All right, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.